the 22nd of May, 1902, Volume 4. The Most Holy Virgin incites Jesus to make Louisa suffer. As I was in my usual state, Blessed Jesus was not coming. Oh, how much I had to suffer, and how much nonsense I spoke. It is useless to say it. Then, after I tired myself well, I felt someone near me, but I could not see his face. I stretched out my hand to find him, and I found him, faint, with his head leaning on my shoulder. I looked at him, and I recognized my sweet Jesus. It seemed to me that he had fainted because of the so much nonsense I had spoken. Then, as soon as I saw him come round, I don't know how much more nonsense I wanted to tell him, but Jesus said to me, keep quiet, do not say anything else, otherwise you cause me to faint. Your silence will make me gain vigour, and so at least I will be able to kiss you, embrace you, and make you content. So I remained in silence, and we kissed each other many times, and Jesus made me many shows of love, but I am unable to explain it. After this, I found myself outside of myself, and I kept looking for the beloved of my soul. Not finding him, I raised my eyes to the heavens. Who knows? I might find him again. And I saw the Queen Mother and Jesus Christ with his back turned to her, contending with each other. He did not want to listen to his mother. This is why he was giving his back, all full of fury. And it seemed that the fire of his indignation was coming out from his mouth. I only understood that on that day, our Lord wanted to destroy everything which served as nourishment of man with the fire of his indignation, but the Most Holy Virgin did not want it, and Jesus was saying, but on whom can I give vent to this burning fire of my indignation? And the mother said, there is someone on whom you can give vent to it, pointing to me. Don't you see how she is always ready for our volitions? On hearing this, Jesus turned to his mother as if they had concorded together. They called the angels, giving to each of them a spark of that fire which was coming out of Jesus. And the angels brought them to me, placing one in my mouth and the others on my hands, on my feet, and on my heart. I suffered. I felt myself being devoured, embittered by that fire, but I felt resigned to suffering anything. Blessed Jesus and his mother were spectators of my sufferings, and Jesus seemed to be somehow pacified. At that moment, I found myself inside myself, and the confessor was about to call me to obedience as usual, when all of a sudden, instead of calling me to obedience, he placed the intention of having me suffer the crucifixion. Jesus concurred by sharing his pains with me. It seemed that the confessor completed the work started by the Queen Mother. May everything be for the glory of God, and may he be always blessed. End of the reading. The 22nd of May, 1909, Volume 9, The Sweet Notes of Love. This morning, as I received communion, Blessed Jesus did not come, and after waiting for a long time between vigil and sleep, it seemed that time was passing and Jesus was not coming. I wanted to go out of my sleep, but at the same time I wanted to stay because of the torment I felt in my heart at not having seen him. I felt like a baby who, wanting to sleep and being awakened by force, starts making fusses and cries. However, in my fussing, while striving to wake up, I said within my interior, what bitter separation. I feel lifeless, yet I live, but life is harder than death. However, may your privation be for love of you. For love of you, the bitterness I feel. For love of you, my tormented heart. For love of you, the life I don't feel, though I live. But so that it may be more acceptable to you, I unite this suffering of mine to the intensity of your love, and with mine I offer you your own love. But as I was saying this, he moved in my interior and told me, How sweet and delightful to my hearing is the note of love. Say it once more, repeat it again. Cheer my hearing with these notes of love so harmonious, which descend deep into my heart and sweeten all of me. Yet who would believe it? I'm ashamed to say it. In my huffiness I answered, I don't want to say it. You get sweetened while I get more embittered. My sweet Jesus kept silent, as though being displeased with my answer. And as soon as I woke up, I repeated my notes of love many times. However, he did not let himself be heard or seen for the whole day. End of the reading. The 22nd of May 1912, Volume 11. True love is not subject to discontents, neither does it tolerate them, because it resolves everything in love. Finding myself in my usual state, Blessed Jesus came for a little while. Since I was feeling a certain discontent in me, he told me, my daughter, true love is not subject to discontent. Rather, it takes the opportunity to turn these same discontents into the most beautiful contentments by virtue of love. Further, since I am the contentment of contentments, I cannot tolerate any discontent, any more than if it were my own rather than hers. So I am forced to give her that thing which makes her happy in order to have her all conform with me. Otherwise, there would be some clashing and dissimilar fibres, heartbeats or thoughts, which would make us lose the best of our harmony. I cannot tolerate all this in the one who really loves me. Moreover, true love operates for love, and for love it does not operate. It asks for love and it gives for love. Therefore, true love ends all in love. For love it dies, and for love it rises again and die. Jesus, it seems that you want to escape me with this talking, but know that I am not giving up. For now, surrender to me for love. Do for me an act of love and surrender to all that is so necessary to me and to which I am so constrained by love. After all, I give everything to you. Otherwise, I will be discontent. And Jesus, you want to win through discontents. He smiled and disappeared. End of the reading. The 22nd of May, 1919, Volume 12. In the era of the living in the divine will, the souls will complete the glory of God on the part of creation. Continuing in my usual state, my little mind was wandering in the holy will of God, and I don't know how, I understood how the creature does not give to God the glory which he is obliged to give, and I felt embittered. And my sweet Jesus, wanting to instruct me and console me through an intellectual light, told me, my daughter, all of my works are complete. Therefore, the glory that the creature must give to me will be complete. The last day will not come until the whole creation has given me the honour and the glory which I myself wanted and established. And what some do not give me, I take from others. In these I redouble the graces which others reject from me. And from these I receive double love and glory. To others, according to their dispositions, I reach the point of giving the graces which I would give to 10. To others, those which I would give to 100. To others, those which I would give to 1,000. Sometimes I give the graces which I would give to cities, to provinces, and even to entire kingdoms. And these love me and give me glory for 10, for 100, for 1,000, etc. In this way, my glory on the part of creation is completed. And when I see that the creature cannot make it in spite of her good will, I draw her into my will, in which she finds the virtue of multiplying one single act as many times as she wants, giving me the glory, honour, and love which others do not give to me. This is why I am preparing the era of the living in my will. and for all that creatures have not done in the past generations and will not do, in this era of my will, they will complete the love, the glory, the honor of the whole creation, and I will give them astonishing and unheard of graces. This is why I am calling you to live in my will. And I whisper into your ear, Jesus, I lay at your feet the adoration, the subjection of the whole human family. I place in your heart the I love you of all. On your lips I impress my kiss in order to seal the kiss of all generations. I clasp you with my arms in order to clasp you with the arms of all, to bring you the glory of all the works of all creatures. And I feel in you the adoration, the I love you, the kiss, etc., of the whole human generation. How could I not give to you the love, the kisses, the graces which I should give to the others? Now know, my daughter, that what the creature does on earth is the capital that she forms for heaven. Therefore, if she does little, she will have little. If much, she will have much. If one loved me and glorified me for 10, she will receive 10 more contentments, corresponding to as much glory, and will be loved by me 10 times as much. If another loved me and glorified me for 100 and for 1,000, she will receive contentments, love and glory for 100 and for 1,000. In this way, I will give to the creation all that I have decided to give, and the creation will give to me all that I must receive from them. And my glory will be completed in everything. End of the reading. The 22nd of May, 1927, Volume 21, how in creation the number of all things was established, even of the human acts, how Jesus enclosed everything within himself. I was fusing myself together with my sweet Jesus in his divine will to multiply my thoughts with his and to line myself up over each thought of creature so that I too might give to my Creator as many acts of homage, of glory, of love for all the thoughts of each creature. But while doing this, I thought to myself, how did my beloved Jesus do it? Do as many acts, as many thoughts, as many steps, etc., for as many as all the creatures were to do? And Jesus, moving my interior, told me, my daughter, just as in creation, my divine will established the number of all created things. Everything was numbered, the stars, the plants, the species, and even the drops of water. Not one thing can be lost or can increase, according to the order established by the supreme fiat. In the same way, my will established all the human acts of all creatures, although by virtue of the free will conceded to them, they could make these same acts good or evil. But as for doing more or less acts, this is not given to them. Everything is established by the divine will. Now, in redemption, the eternal fiat reigning in my humanity knew all the acts that all creatures were to do, all thoughts, words, steps. Nothing escaped it. Therefore, it is no wonder that I multiplied my acts for each act of creatures, so that the glory of the Celestial Father might be complete on my part in the name of each creature and for each one of their acts, and the good I impetrated for them might have complete fullness, in such a way that each one of their acts, thoughts, words, and steps was to have my acts as help of their act, each thought of mine as help and light of each thought of theirs, and so with all the rest done by creatures. Having everything enclosed within myself, I form within me the new creation of all the acts of creatures, to be able to give everything back to them. Nothing escaped me, otherwise it would not have been a work worthy of your Jesus, if even just one thought had escaped me. The creature would have found the void of my thought, and if she wanted to, she would not have found the help, the strength, and the light for her thought. Now, my daughter, I want you in my divine will, so that together with me you may form this new creation of all the human acts of creatures, in order to impetrate the kingdom of the supreme fiat from my celestial Father. And so creatures will find the triple help of strength and of light in all their acts, in order to return into the kingdom of my will. These universal triple helps are the works of the Sovereign Queen, those of your Jesus, and those of the little daughter of my divine will. Then after this I was thinking to myself and asking, what is this divine will? And Jesus added, my daughter, divine will means giving God to God, divine outpouring and transformation of the human nature into divine, communication of creative virtue, embracing the infinite, rising into the eternal one, and taking eternity as though in one's power to say to God, I have loved you from eternity. Your will has no beginning. It is eternal like you, and in it I have loved you with a love without beginning and without end. What is my will? It is everything. End of the reading. The 22nd of May, 1932, Volume 30. Delightful scenes that the soul forms for her Creator. The divine will give to the creature the gift of infused science, which will be like a divine eye for her. My poor mind swims in the immense sea of the divine will. In this sea, it continuously murmurs. But what does it murmur? Love, praise, thanksgivings, and the Supreme Being lets his murmur meet that of the creature, and he gives love in order to receive love. What sweet encounter between the Creator and the creature, that they love each other in turn. And in this exchange of love, they form waves of love, of light, of indescribable beauty, that the poor creature, not being capable of enclosing completely in herself, feels drowning. And while she has taken who knows how much, the drowning that she feels impedes her from being able to repeat what she feels in herself of the ineffable secrets of love, of light, of divine knowledge that the murmur of the Eternal One has enclosed in her soul. But while I was lost in so many knowledges as to not know how to repeat them all, I feel myself stammering. The adaptable words are lacking to me, and in order not to blunder, I continue on. And my lovable Jesus, compassionating my incapacity and littleness, clasped me to himself in his arms and told me, my blessed daughter, you have reason that your littleness feels drowned under the immensity of my light, of my love, and of the innumerable truths that our adorable and holy being contains. But our power and immensity delights itself with refilling the creature so much with light, with love, with our various knowledges, with sanctity, even to drowning her. It is one of the most beautiful scenes to see the creature as drowned in our immensity, and she wants to speak and is drowned by light, by love, by surprising truths. Oh, how beautiful it is that she wants to speak about what she hears, and our waves invest her and reduce her to silence. Yet with this way we make a display of ourselves with our beloved creature, and we act like a teacher who wants to make a display of his science to his little disciple. He puts forth everything that he knows, and the disciple listens, fills his mind and heart. But since there had been so many things that the teacher told him, the disciple does not know how to repeat anything. But however, it helps him to appreciate and love the teacher and to hope that he can reach the height of the teacher's science. Being under his direction helps the teacher in order to make himself known and draw the affection and attention and fidelity of the disciple. We do the same. In order to make ourselves known and in order to make ourselves loved, when we see the creature empty of everything, that she wants nothing other than our divine will, we delight so much, even to drowning her with love, light, with love, and with our truths that pertain to us. And then we break down for her little by little what we have infused all together. And so we also delight in adapting ourselves to her little capacity. Now you must know that one who lives in the divine will reacquire, among so many prerogatives, the gift of infused science, gift that will be her guide in order to know our divine being, that will facilitate for her the carrying out of the kingdom of the divine fiat in her soul. It will be as guide for her in the order of natural things. It will be like the hand that guides her in everything and will make known the palpitating life of the divine volition in all created things and the good that it continuously brings her. This gift was given to Adam at the beginning of his creation. Together with our divine will, he possessed the gift of infused science in a way that he knew our divine truths with clarity. Not only this, but he knew all the beneficial virtues that all created things possessed for the good of the creature, from the greatest thing even to the littlest blade of grass. Now, as he rejected our divine will by doing his own, our fiat withdrew its life and the gift which he had been bearer of. Therefore he remained in the dark, without the true and pure light of the knowledge of all things. So with the return of the life of my will in the creature, its gift of infused science will return. This gift is inseparable from my divine will, as light is inseparable from heat, and where it reigns, it forms in the depth of the soul, the eye full of light, such that looking with this divine light, she acquires the knowledge of God and of created things for as much as is possible for a creature. Now, my will withdrawing, the eye remains blind, because it who animated the sight departed. That is to say, it is no longer the operating life of the creature. It happens as to the body. As long as the eye is healthy, it sees, distinguishes colours, objects, people. But if the pupil is darkened and loses light, he remains blind. Therefore, he does not know how to distinguish anything anymore. At the most, he will help himself by way of feeling to know and comprehend something, but his light is extinguished and finished. Perhaps he will have eyes, but not full of the life of the light, but of dense darkness that are bearers of sorrow for the lost sight. Such is my will. Where it reigns, it centralizes in the soul this gift of infused science, that more than I sees and comprehends, but without strain, the divine truths and the most difficult knowledges about our Supreme Being, but with a marvellous facility, without artifice and without study. Even more, no one can know the substance of the natural things, the good that there is within, if not he who has created them. Therefore, no one is to marvel if in the soul, where it reigns, our divine volition makes itself revealer of our divine being and of the things that he himself has created. And our will not reigning, everything is darkness for the poor creature. Our children are blind, and they neither know nor love he who has created them, who loves them more than a father and yearns for the love of his children. Where it reigns, my divine will does not go with empty hands, but brings all the goods that it possesses. And if, ungrateful, they constrain it to withdraw, it brings everything with itself, because it is inseparable from its goods. It acts like the sun. As it rises in the morning, so it makes the gift of its light and of its beneficial effects to the earth. And as it withdraws in the evening, it brings all the light with itself. Nothing remains, not even a drop of light for the night. And why? Because it cannot, nor has it been given to it of being able to detach one single particle of light, because it is inseparable from its light. And where it goes, with the fullness of light that it possesses, it forms the full day. Therefore be attentive, because where my will reigns, it wants to do great things. It wants to give everything, nor does it adapt itself to doing little things, but it wants to form the full day and make display in gifts and with magnificence. End of the reading. There are no more readings today.